So maybe a good start is like maybe a little speaking or introducing that why are you playing that one?
Sure. You know, just making sure I have everything off. Maybe I'll just play something real fast. Is that cool? Or I can talk about it. Maybe I'll play a little bit. Just, I don't know, something. Not long. I don't know what I'm gonna play. Let's see. G sharp. I've been traveling for like 3 days, so this is the first time I've gotten to play. So it's nice to actually get some air through the horn. What did you ask me to say? Oh, but talk about the horn a little bit. So, well, first of all, so my name is Bob Reynolds. You probably know that. That's why you're here. But I've been playing a Mark 6 for like 20 years, 20 plus years, somewhere around 20 years, maybe a little less. Not too long ago, I was looking at some other horns, or maybe I was getting I forget what it was. I was getting my Mark 6 was appraised, for insurance reasons. Anyway, I also have a lot of young players ask me about horns and stuff. These vintage horns, they're very expensive these days. The Mark 6s and any of the vintage horns, it's just incredibly, people go on these searches looking for the vintage Selmers and everything, and I understand because I did the same thing when I was young, and I found my horn that I love. Where I'm going with this is that the thing I like about the Moriats, well, specifically the one that I play, the 76, but the brand and as a whole, is that I think they offer like a really great alternative to those vintage horns. I'm not. It's to me, it's not a question of I guess how should I put this? Like, I've tried other horns. I've tried Keelworths and Yanagasawas and Yamahas, and I never have liked the Selmers, the new Selmers. Like whatever Selmers made, like all whatever Series 3. Yeah. Well, the reference when I tried that, but I didn't love that either. I don't know. I played a Yamaha Alto and Soprano because they feel more like my Mark 6 tenor than the new Selmers did. So it always kind of was weird to me, like how, Anyway, I never really enjoyed them. So the Moriat was like the first horn that I played that wasn't a Selmer vintage horn that I was like, whoa, this is a really cool horn. They're just the first ones I liked, and I just think they're, they're really great instruments, and then, they look cool too. It's just like I could never see myself playing like a shiny, brand new, gold lacquered Yamaha tenor. Alto I don't mind so much because it's not my main instrument, but I don't know. I like the whole package. I like how they feel, how they sound. I did get mine worked on a little bit, and I've told the Moriat guys this. Like, they tend
too strong.
What?
Too strong.
Yeah. Well, it was too strong out of the box, so I had my guy in New York loosen up the action. So it feels better now. It feels more like like what I'm used to. It has a little more bounce in the action. So I think that's helpful. I understand why they do it for shipping reasons. They ship the horn so that it's really tight and everything, when you get it. But it never occurred to me until my repair guy was like, I told him, I was like, hey, I have this Moriat, and he goes, you probably need me to loosen the action. And I said, okay, try it. And he did, and I thought it was a lot better. So yeah. But for me, the reason I'll say specifically why I'm playing this horn. So a lot of people play what's the really popular one with the roll? The 66 RUL or something. And I like the way that one feels, and I like the way that one looks, but I don't care for. They have very open tone holes up top. So this is the horn to me that's closest to my setup on the Selmer that I've played for years. And I should also mention that, meaning, the tone holes are small up here. It's not rolled tone holes, it's straight tone holes. I never played a rolled tone hole horn, so I don't know, it just wasn't, I didn't get my sound on it. When I played this one, I was like, oh, this is like what
your studying days? You were playing always with Mark 6, never trying a con or?
You know, I tried, my very first saxophone ever in life was a con alto, and it looked kind of like this, but it wasn't this. It was like some crappy, I think it was like, they called it the Mexican Starburst model. It was like a really bad student horn, and you know, that was my first alto sax ever. You know, a neighbor gave it to me, like a friend. So. Then I switched to tenor, and I got a Selmer USA. It was like I don't think they even make it anymore. It's kind of like a mid-level horn, you know, not quite student, but not quite professional. And then I got my Mark 6 when I was a teenager, like 16 or 17 years old, high school. Funny story about that, not to get sidetracked, but about trying and finding horns in general. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast.
No, again?
Okay. I went to New York and I wanted to find a Mark 6. You know, I sold the Selmer USA tenor, so I went about 1 week without playing at all. And then I got to New York and I was like, I hit all the stores, you know, Sam Ash, Rod Baltimore, whoever who had saxophones. And so I spent 3 days trying horns. And at the end of the third day, I wound up back at the store where I started, and I tried this one tenor, and I was like, I think this is the one, you know. And at that time, I probably bought that horn for about $3,200, $3,500. I mean, the last time it got appraised, it was worth well over $10,000. I mean, I thought it was expensive back then, you know. Anyway, so I tried this horn, and I was like, this is the one, I love it. And the guy at the store goes, that's the first one you tried and you hated it. And I didn't believe him, but we had tagged it. We put a red tag somewhere because it was like a maybe. And sure enough, after 3 days of trying saxophones, the horn that I picked out that I loved was the very first one I tried, and I hated it. I didn't like how it felt. So I don't know what, you know, to chalk that up to, but okay, what I was going to say was that, so that horn had, for me, problems in the bottom end. So after trying a lot of different Selmers, and this is the other thing, a Selmer Mark 6, just because it's a Mark 6 doesn't mean it's a great horn. I mean, I went to Tenor Madness in in Iowa, you know, this place where the walls are just covered with balanced actions, super balanced actions, Mark 6s. I went out there and I tried all of them that this guy had. There was one Mark 6 that I would have considered, like, I could see that, and there was one super balanced action. Out of 50 horns,